Hi there! 1 month ago, I traveled for 3 weeks in Japan with this tiny sketchbook, thinking I might only paint 3 or 4 pages. When I came back, I realized I had filled every page, and this tiny painting routine became one of my favorite parts of the trip. So I want to share what made it so easy and why these little paintings ended up meaning so much to me. Before leaving for Japan, I actually prepared this tiny art kit with all my watercolor essentials for travel painting. 2 little palettes, 3 brushes, paper in different sizes, and a few other tiny tools. I thought this setup would be perfect for the trip, but once I was there, I found myself using another setup almost every day, a much simpler kit in an even smaller case. It was basically a simplified version of my original kit. 1 travel brush, a small palette, a little water holder, masking tape, and this sketchbook. That's it. And honestly, I think that's what made this painting routine possible. When you travel, your energy is already used by so many little things. Most days, I was visiting different places, carrying bags, checking maps, so the easier your setup is, the more likely you are to actually use it. And this tiny kit made painting feel light. I could take it out almost anywhere without feeling like I had to start a real painting project. I'm really happy I switched to this simplified kit early in the trip, otherwise I wouldn't have painted as much. Inspiration was everywhere, and I wanted to paint so many things during this trip, but of course, it's impossible to paint everything on the spot. So whenever something inspired me, I took a photo right away and saved it into one dedicated album on my phone. Then later, when I found some quiet time in a cafe or back at the hotel, I could simply open that album and choose one moment to paint. Every day brings something new when you travel, and it's easy to forget the small moments that made you stop. This tiny album ended up helping me a lot. Before visiting an area, I would often look for nice coffee shops nearby. I'd even check the photos on Google Maps to see if there was a comfortable place to sit and a cozy atmosphere. These places gave me a chance to slow down and paint for 20 minutes. Sometimes I painted in a cafe, sometimes on a bench in a park, or just back at the hotel before going to bed. And of course, not every painting happened in a cozy spot. This very first painting from the trip was actually finished on the street like this. I was told I wasn't allowed to paint inside this tiny shrine, so I stepped outside and kept painting there instead. And honestly, it became a fun memory too. Traveling can be quite intense, and painting made me slow down for a moment. I would sit down, look at one scene, mix a few colors, and completely focus on that one little painting. And I naturally started simplifying everything. I used fewer colors, painted less detail, and focused on just one thing that caught my attention. I also talk a lot about simplifying paintings in my online watercolor course. We use simple shapes, limited colors, and tiny formats to make watercolor feel more fun and relaxing. If you'd like to paint more little moments like these, feel free to take a look. And once I started focusing on these little moments, I began experiencing the trip in a completely different way. Usually when I travel somewhere, I take a few photos, look around, and then move on to the next place. But when I wanted to paint something, I naturally stayed a little longer. I noticed little things I normally wouldn't have noticed. The colors of a building, the shape of a tree, the sound of people walking by, or simply the atmosphere of a place. And somehow, these ordinary moments became some of my favorite pages in the sketchbook. Painting didn't just help me remember places better. I think it changed the way I experienced them in the first place. And guess what? I was not doing this routine alone. I painted with my husband during the trip, and here's his sketchbook. Having a painting buddy made the whole thing so much easier and so much more enjoyable. I think that's something I'd love to do again on future trips. Let me know if you're going to try this. It doesn't have to be a big trip. It can be a walk outside, a day at the beach, or just a coffee break, just one little moment here and there. And who knows, it might become one of your favorite souvenirs too. And if you want to learn watercolor in a simple and relaxing way, you can also join my online course for beginners and enjoy the current offer for a limited time. See you next time!